paper on the Last Solidaridad was actually a chapter from a history of Philippine journalism that I've been writing for the past 5 to 10 years. No? It's quite a large work. The Last Solidaridad was just one chapter. And what the idea that I had for it was to introduce something new, because we always accepted the La Solidaridad as a newspaper of the reform movement, and it's always in the background. And the fact that it's in the background, few people actually notice it. Okay? That what did it contain? No? What was its size? What did it actually look like? All we know that it's the La Solidaridad. We've seen black and white pictures of it, and that's it. The title of our little newspaper came from the fact that it was a quotation from Marcelo del Pilar. It was a letter to Jose Rizal where he mentioned that in the first printing of the La Solidaridad, Del Pilar was proud to say that our little newspaper is already out. In fact, it was a modest description of the La Solidaridad at the time, and it caught my attention. But you can see or you can read in the letter to Rizal of the pride that they managed to put out a newspaper that would promote their ideas for reform. It was the size of a small bond paper, but it was ideas full of things that they wanted to say. Some of the ideas that I discovered, one thing, it wasn't Graciano Lopez Heine who was the first editor. I eventually discovered that no one credited Graciano Lopez Heine of being the first editor. He just credited himself. His involvement in the La Solidaridad wasn't exactly appreciated by many of the propagandists, because he was later accused by Rizal and later by even Del Pilar himself that Heine mismanaged the newspaper. So when he finally let it go, the newspaper transferred from Barcelona to Madrid, and Heine didn't want to leave Barcelona. So when it transferred to Madrid, Del Pilar took over. So Del Pilar should actually be recognized as the first editor. One thing probably about history students that I would steer them away from is to probably remove the continuous acceptance of what they believe is historical fact. A history student should always be curious. For the student to actually learn, they should never accept anything as it is. That history is not just something that would be memorized in a textbook, but rather history should be understood as a story.